Call the meeting to order. You get a roll call, please.
Chairman Winters,
Here.
Board Member Mizell,
Here.
Board Member Rogers,
Here.
Board Member Stevens, here, Board Member Wilson.
Here.
Everybody would stand, join me, please. Pledge the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any corrections or amendments to the October the 14th commission meeting? I have a motion to approval. Meetings from October the 14th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion to second. Get a roll call vote, please.
Board Member Mizell,
Yes.
Board Member Rogers,
Yes.
Board Member Stevens,
Yes.
Board Member Wilson,
Yes.
Chairman Winters.
Yes. And it looks like we have about 12 or 13 cases before the board tonight. Can we get an update on the property at 6619 State Line Road, please?
Please, the board. My name is Brent James. I'm here for Benjamin Perry. This is his daughter Gracie Perry, who is actually the resident of the house. They are 50% owners on the property. And Mrs. Perry, as I understand, at one point in time had moved off for a short period of time. She's now back in the area. I talked to her tonight. Apparently there may be a little bit of termite damage in the back. She feels it needs to be repaired. There's also a back door that needs to be repaired. She was given the FEMA form to have completed before she left the area for a period of time. She had two contractors come take a look. Quite honestly, they said they didn't know how to fill out the form. I don't know anything about the form. I haven't seen the form. Mr. Perry was only put on notice after the October hearing, is when he was added to the certificate of service and got me involved. So Mrs. Perry is either able to try and sell the house, would be get somebody in to complete the repairs that need to be made.
Okay, this is property on the low end that was in the flood zone,
Yes.
and it was in the 100-year floodplain.
It is in her.
And you've done substantial improvement on the interior of the home, but
Right,
not much
yeah.
on the exterior of it.
Yeah, the exterior is the only thing that needs to be taken care of.
Okay. I wonder what the contractors didn't contact the building inspection office if they had questions.
Mrs. Perry did all that communication, so I'll let her answer that.
Yeah, I did. Are you talking about the fire marshal coming and looking in?
Well, I'm talking about the contractors you call.
So I called a couple of different contractors, and both of them said that they weren't sure about how to fill the FEMA form out. And then I called a few more, and they tried to charge me $100 just to come out and look at it. I am going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm a college student. I don't have a lot of money. Like, I don't have just $100 to throw away right now to have somebody come out and fill out a piece of paper. Like, I just don't.
Well, it does have to be filled out, but we do have, they will call
Okay.
the codes folks, they'll tell them how it needs to be filled out, because, isn't that right? A licensed contractor has to do it,
Yes.
but, they can call the buildings code, our office, and they will help them, if they have any questions about it, they haven't done it before.
Okay, all right.
So it's a pretty standard thing for a licensed contractor.
Okay.
This is kind of a strange situation. There was a period of time, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Grace, but Mrs. Perry, her father and mother divorced, and there's still some ongoing litigation with regards to the divorce that I'm involved in. So Gracie and her father own this house, and then at one point in time there was a lease with regards to a new stepdaughter.
Yes, my stepsister moved in with me.
Therefore, Mr. Perry then retired, she's no longer there.
No.
And so it may be that Mrs. Perry and her dad can work together towards getting these repairs done with the contractor at this point in time. He kind of had his hands, in my opinion, tied where probably wasn't the best situation for him to go back to the house under the current set of circumstances, which now apparently no longer exist.
Right, so my question, did he know before he was served this last month? Because I know we had a discussion about that.
I know that there were papers that were, well, because I lived in Illinois for a while. And I had moved, when I was engaged at the time with my fiance up there because he had lost his father, so we moved to Illinois. And I was not in the house for 2 years, it was vacant. It was to my understanding that my dad was supposed to go over there and make the external repairs and that he was gonna lease the property out. Instead, he just let it sit there and it rotted. So it got really bad. And I mean, that's just,
Well, and that's fine, I just wanted to make sure that, I know that, we made sure that he got
He
information
did,
last
and
month.
Mr. James had called me
And
last
prior
week
to that,
as
yeah,
well.
so
And,
I want to make sure that we give them the opportunity to make the repairs, because I know that, yes, this has been on our agenda for a little while, but I made it known last time, it kind of bothered me that his name was on there, and we didn't, you know.
Correct,
include
right.
him. So I don't want you
One
to feel
board,
pressed.
I'm not under oath, but I represent the board that Gracie's sister Glory, about a week and a half ago, brought Mr. Perry the mail from the 6619.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, I just
Yeah.
wanted, I don't want you to feel.
taking the mailbox down too while I was gone, I think, so he just might have been not received.
But he has now, and that's all that I
Yes.
was prepared.
If I understand it, Mr. James can correct me, Dr. Perry has intents to get this
Well, and I
thing
knew
fixed,
that, I
I
figured
think.
that he would.
Now that there's still some litigation going on, there was the stepdaughter of the ex-wife that is living there, which I think I understand, Mr. James, there's going to be a hearing in a couple of weeks, is that right?
January 7th.
Oh, okay. But I think with
Yeah,
the stepdaughter is moved out, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I
Well,
just knew that Dr. Perry didn't really know.
that's fair.
until-
I think that's
Right,
right.
yeah. We don't communicate very well, so,
And that's,
yeah.
you know, I could,
Well, I think with Dr. Perry now having knowledge of this, and it sounds like he may be able to work logistically now that the stepdaughter's out, then, our recommendation to this board would be, now that we got Mr. James here, to put notice to Dr. Perry as to what needs to be done, which I understand Mr. Flynn is get the substantial improvement form completed.
Yes.
Okay. And if Dr. Perry will get that, and it may help Miss Perry, Grayson, perhaps I think it would behoove you to talk to your mother as well, to let her know that the board is taking action relative to this property, that Dr. Perry is named on it, and that he has to get access to this property.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, I have the keys and access and everything, and
Okay.
the locks have not been changed, none of that, so he should still have ours.
Well, I think he was being cautious because of the stepdaughter being there as well. I wanted to
Probably,
respect that.
yeah, that was, yeah.
So,
probably.
I'd communicate with your mother that he's gonna have to get in and make some repairs.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't have anything to do with her, it's just a marital asset. The house is a marital asset for her, her name is not on the house, so.
No, but the stepdaughter was living there.
Right, she was, but she's not anymore.
And Miss Perry, this is the first time I've met her. I'll give her my cell phone information. She can contact me if she'd rather go through me than it doesn't matter.
I'm fine with my dad as long as he can cooperate, not be abrasive.
Any questions?
I just want to make sure that you understood that we're going to work with you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And so the it just went right, a substantial is the only word, thank you, and with the FEMA form.
Right.
If you need any help with that, you call.
Now, do these repairs have to be made in the case that I decided to sell the house? Do they need to be made prior to the selling of the house, or can I sell the house without the repairs being made?
Yes, because we've not condemned the property.
You
You just have to notify the seller or the
Okay.
buyer
Yeah.
that it's under
Okay,
contest.
okay,
Now, they will still have to go through the,
okay.
the
Unless it's
process.
Right,
done
yeah.
for those.
Because I mean, honestly, I would much rather just be done with it.
You can pass the problem on to the buyer.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've spoken to some people already.
The deal with a substantial improvement form is to get an idea of what percentage of the home is damaged, and if it's above a certain percent.
It has to be.
Raised 1 foot above the under flood zone, that's where that form comes into play.
Did you understand that stuff? Did you know that that's what it was?
Yes,
Okay, I just wanted, that form's confusing.
it is.
I think Michael and I tried to convey it the best we could to her when we were out there.
Yeah. They did a
There's
good
some
job. It's fine.
miscommunication with the,
Yes, so,
if contractor's not used to doing stuff in the flood zone, then they're not,
but that's why, yeah, if you're gonna sell it, as long as she.
I've been down and I've looked at the property, and it won't have a problem, I don't think, passing the substantial improvement form.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either. There's not too much.
Yeah.
That's on
I have a recommendation for the board.
I'll make a motion to pass it to December the ninth. We're not gonna have a December meeting.
well,
Not gonna have a December meeting.
unless you just want to pass everything that's mine until January, I'll be attending training the week of December.
Okay, let's look at January 13th.
That gives you
Does that work for
plenty of
everybody?
time, because you sell it by then.
Okay, we have a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion, second, get a roll call, pass it till January the
13th.
13th. Okay.
And it's a Monday, not a Friday.
Okay. All right, folks.
And we are back 5 o'clock.
Well, 5 o'clock.
5:30.
5:30.
And no December meeting.
I think.
5:30.
Please, if you need any help on that form, get back in touch with the building inspection office.
Okay, yeah.
It's not that complicated.
I know that I have Mike's email, so I'll reach out.
It's a good location. If the Duke decide to sell it, it's gonna have a problem.
Yeah, and actually, there's a lot of houses up around the area that are going for sale right now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. James.
Thanks, Mike.
Next property, 5603 Oakdale Avenue. I'm sorry, I thought we had the motion passed, okay. Go ahead and do it.
Board Member Rizel.
Yes.
Board Member Rogers.
Yes.
Board Member Stevens.
Yes.
Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Chairman Williams.
Yes. Okay, Ms. Sarah, 5603 Oakdale Avenue, get an update on that.
So they actually came and finally pulled their demolition permit on the 7th. And it's already halfway demolished, so they're making good headway, getting that building taken down. So I'm going to actually get this one closed out.
Okay. All right, any objections, any questions from the board? And that's the one behind Langston Photography and the ambulance service? Okay.
Do we want to take it off now, or do we want to wait till it's complete?
Let's take it off.
I drove by the property the other day and it's half
Maybe I saw
down.
the dumpsters and things down there today, so.
What's the owner of this property?
Langston Photography.
Yeah. Jesse Langston, Teresa.
I think they own that whole
Langston.
corner where the ambulance service is located also. Do we need a roll call to go ahead and take this off? Okay. All right, we're going to our next property, 4317 DuPont Street. Have an update on that property.
Yes, Mr. Woodhunt has been working with a contractor to finish up everything that he needed to do. So far, he has done everything in which we've asked him to do, so we're going to go ahead and ask for the case to be closed.
I think I saw Mr. Weeman here earlier, did I not?
He's over there.
Okay. Any objections from anybody closing this case? Okay. Mr. Weeman, it's good to see you again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Next property, 1619 Berry Road.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry I missed last month. I didn't realize it had moved to 4 o'clock.
Right.
So, Just to refresh, this is the property that you want the house torn down, we want it torn down, but my mother bought this at a tax sale, so we get the title quieted on it. I've located just about everybody I can identify as a potential claimant on it. But the good news is, it looks like we've got a buyer that may be wanting to buy it. He says he's aware of all this, he's aware of that, and he has the ability to do the demolition himself with that. So we got a couple of issues. One is, Mom is about to turn 82. People are starting to take advantage of her. Someone got her to sign an $89,000 RV purchase here that I had to get her out of a few weeks ago. She's got 2 surgeries coming up. So we're putting all her properties into trust at this moment. And I don't want to act a fool putting this one in trust if we're going to be able to sell it pretty soon. So it looks like we may be able to get this thing resolved fairly quickly.
Okay.
Sorry,
How are you coming on getting the property cleared? Have you come up with the other owners that need to sign off on it?
yes, we found everybody that I think I can identify as someone to do it, and everyone's agreed to take nominal amounts of money to sign off on it. So I'm pretty confident that when it goes to court, we have to go through court. It won't be just a matter of formality.
Right. I hate to ask you to do this again, but state your name for the record so
It's
we can.
James Key.
Right. I know this has been ongoing, and I know you drive up from Marietta each time we have a meeting up here. You think this could be resolved between now and our next meeting in January?
I certainly hope so. Not that I don't enjoy seeing you guys, but I'd like to get this wrapped up myself. So I'm hoping that we can. Because here's where I'm at with it right now. These guys that want to buy it, either put up and close or get us done by Thanksgiving, by Thanksgiving. Otherwise, I'm proceeding with the case and getting it wrapped up. So one way or the other, I'm expecting to have it wrapped up.
Okay. Any objections from anybody passing it on to our next meeting?
What happens if it sells? Does that mean?
It's still going to have to be demolished. It would have to be disclosed that it's already been condemned.
I've already
Yeah,
talked with them about it in great detail, and they have their contractor permits and all that stuff, and they
That
would
was-
come in and get a
Yeah,
permit and just do it.
so, and if they do that, then it won't even be on our January, because they'll.
If something happens like that, I'll let you guys know. I'll contact.
If they come in and purchase a demolition permit through the building inspection office, they can let us know, we can take it off of our agenda, because demolishing the house, the dwelling, it's never been an issue. It's been,
It is all done up and everything.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So if otherwise, if they don't, then I'll be in the courthouse and with a Tennessee lawyer to get it, the title quieted on it and get it done.
Any objections? Need a motion to pass this for our next meeting in January.
Motion to pass January 13th. Second.
We have a motion to second, get a roll call, please.
Board Member Gazell?
Yes.
Board Member Ross? Board Member Stevens?
Yes.
Board Member Wilson?
Yes.
Chairman Winters?
Yes. Good to see you.
Thank you, and hopefully, not that I don't mind seeing you, but hopefully I want to see you too.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
The next property is 5313 State Line Road. Get an update on that property, please.
Yes, I've spoken with Mr. Sanders, and Mr. Thomas is leaving caregiver. Mr. Thomas is actually in the hospital again, but they have done quite a few repairs to the inside of the house. They've actually got the outside picked up as of today. They've still got to repair the back deck and then do some modifications on the wheelchair ramp. They have continued to do work, so I would just suggest we pass it until the next meeting.
That's all we can ask. You continue to work on it, get it in compliance.
Yes, sir.
I noticed the ramp I went by the other day, it looks much better than it did the last time we met.
Well, he had a guy working it, and they wrote him a check and the guy's gone. So we've just had to kind of,
Did your volunteers leave you?
did we what?
The volunteer people working on the house, did they leave?
I don't think that was actually the case. Apparently, this is the same gentleman he's talking about.
He was paying him all along. I don't
Was
know.
he?
He said he was doing it for nothing, but that was a lie.
I get you. Well, he misrepresented what he was doing to us, didn't he?
Well, yes, sir.
State your name again for the record, for the secretary.
Ryan Sanders.
And you're the property owner's cousin, correct?
Pardon?
You're the property owner's cousin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will pass this, any objections to passing this case, get a
I
motion
make
to
a
pass
motion
it.
to pass it January 13th.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second to pass it January 13th. We'll check on you again in 2 months, okay?
At 4:30?
It'll be 5:30.
5:30.
And I'll send you a notice.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you, it's good to see you again. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
You too.
Next property is 1382 Pleasant Street. We'll get an update on this property. How are you? Doing okay today?
Yes, sir.
All right, state your name again for the record, please.
T1 Parks.
Do you have any added information on this one, Mike?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. You want to give us an update on your status, what's going on?
Yes, really, I still haven't received titles and deeds on the property. So, I had talked to somebody about buying the property though. But I still haven't received my stuff in the mail, so I really haven't got about to getting that.
Well, you bought this as back tax property, correct?
Through an online auction.
I'm sorry,
It was an online auction.
through Hamilton County government? Okay, have you contacted Hamilton County Register of Deeds, or?
Yeah, I paid and I registered and everything, so that's why I don't understand why I haven't received it in the mail, because it's been over the time period of, they had the redemption time. So it's been over a year now, so I should have received it in the mail.
Yeah, this is very unusual.
But, I was told to contact a title company or something like that.
Well, whoever you purchased it from and you wrote your check to, so you need to contact, did you make your check out to the register, the trustee, Hamilton County, or who did you pay?
Trustee bill.
Yeah. I know that previous property owners, they have a right of redemption, but they should have provided you with legal paperwork showing that it was sold to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the redemption time is over now, so I should have received the title and the deed, and then that's what I was told after the redemption time.
That the property had been transferred over into his name?
Yeah, I paid the Hamilton County trustee,
Okay.
Bill Holland, that's what it does say.
So if I was you, I'd check with Mr. Holder's office, the courthouse downtown, and have him or his staff pull the information that you need, make sure that you get your deed and everything like that. And they can print all that off right there from inside of the office.
Yeah, I was gonna look here and see real quick. I'll do that.
Now, that property you purchased was in flood zone also,
Yes, sir.
and it needed substantial improvements on it. I mean, the roof was like a roller coaster on it, you know? And I'm gonna have to refresh my memory, what were we in agreement on before? Was
Really, I
the house?
was just
really that was my first investment, so I was just letting y'all know this was my first rodeo on this, so
Right.
I really didn't know what to do at the time, and I wasn't aware that it was in the flood zone until I actually bought it, but, I had plans on either selling it, or like I said, demoing and starting over, either
Right.
one.
I was thinking that's what we had agreed on,
Mhm.
but you're waiting on the clear title and the deed to it,
Yes,
before
sir.
you demolish the house.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, all right, so
The assessor's page has his name on it.
it's got you, I mean, there's a deed out there. Your name is spelled Kega, Juan Park, right?
Yes, sir.
It's showing you purchased this June 2018, June 27, 2018. Book and page number 7392-662. Let me just pull that up. Which parts they have you reflected as the property owner. And you're trying to get financing in connection to the property, aren't you?
I mean, I was just told, once the redemption time was over, I received the deeds and titles in the mail. And I just haven't received them.
718. Here it is right here. I've got a copy of what you, unlimited title.
Property taxes usually come in.
Right, I mean, they're gonna be due
December.
shortly.
Yeah, I mean, I did get that in the mail as well, but like I said,
Well, I'm not aware of the county doing anything further at this point. The order confirming the sale has been recorded. It's reflecting you as the new grantee of the
Yes.
property.
It's his name.
Your address is 3712 McCoon Drive, right?
yes, sir.
Or, excuse
Yeah.
me, McCool Drive. And that's in Chattanooga.
1146.
Yeah, so are you trying to secure any financing in connection with working on this property?
Yes, sir. I mean, once I can't do nothing if I don't have no titles of deeds, you know what I mean?
Well, you
Even
have
though-
title, you just don't necessarily have marketable title. What you're probably, if you've gone to a lender, they're probably telling you need to go get quiet title. And that's, it's accurate. But you are the record owner of this property. Tax assessor and the property deeds, or register of deeds, excuse me. Bought it from, looks like the property owners that it was purchased from was Johnny and Wanda Castile and Johnny Bryant, who this was purchased from at the back tax sale. I'll represent to you that you are the record owner of this property. So, I think what he tried to do, board, is secure financing, and it's up to you financing when you purchase property at back tax sale, because they're not gonna do it unless there's quiet title having been, secured. And
Last time I went down there and tried to talk, they were saying I need to call a title company and actually try to see if somebody else,
yeah, you can call.
somebody before me, I guess.
Have you contacted a title company?
I haven't got to it yet, sir.
Okay.
I've been
I think that's
personal.
probably where we sit. I mean, it needs to move forward with a title company who will file to quiet title on this action.
Yeah, lender's probably not gonna do anything unless it's all title in your name, as long as somebody's got the right of redemption to come back and pick it up and pay you interest on what you paid for it, so.
And he's already 12 months past that, he's
Right.
almost 16.
Right.
16 months.
Yeah, they should have, so they're
We'll pass this case to next go around. I have a motion to pass this case to January. I have a motion and a second to pass this case to January the 13th. And meanwhile, you can go to the title company and see if they can obtain you a quiet title on this. And if not, go to the Hollander's office and see if they can provide you ownership of it. Since the redemption time's up now, correct?
Right.
So they should be able to provide you with a title to it, and you can go ahead and proceed and do what you want to with it.
I think what they'll tell you is that you are the record title. I think you need to get to a title company and have them work with you on that one.
Okay.
That way they can make sure there's no hidden liens anywhere.
Well, they'll help you go through the process of getting this thing marketable title, is what they'll help you do.
Okay,
Thank you. So you said January when?
January the 13th.
5:30.
Thank you.
Board Member Ezell.
Yeah.
Board Member Rogers.
Yes.
Board Member Stevens. Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Chairman Winters.
Yes. The next property is 501 Fire Drive. We have an update on that property.
I have had no contact with anybody from that property, associated with that property. Since,
I know the people that reside there were here at the last meeting, and we requested the building inspection office go by the property and the interior.
I've been by there a couple of times, haven't made contact with anybody. They haven't called me and made contact either.
Do you raise your hand? Yeah, I thought that was our understanding for last meeting, that he was supposed to go by there and check on it. Was that your understanding, the last meeting,
Yeah.
that the fire marshal was going to go by?
He missed our last meeting.
Oh, you weren't here the last meeting, were you? Nobody gave you a copy of our minutes, I guess?
Yeah, I got it,
Okay.
but I've been by there several times, haven't made contact with anybody. They haven't reached out and made contact with me.
We're supposed to have the fire marshal and codes inspection by October 18th.
Right.
Our last meeting.
So I thought I put in there that he would be inside the house.
Right.
One of the motions.
Yeah, see, the what I've got doesn't have a October date on it, it just says, should permit us to do an inspection of the property.
We sent out an order on this one last time.
Yeah, this was,
I know the electrical needed to go up to code, that was one of the most important things
the,
in the foundation.
yeah, here's the order. It was updated October 14th. It was passed November 11th at 4 p.m. Property owner and property owner's representative shall permit East Ridge Fire Marshal to perform an inspection of the property. At that time, Jeremy Witt was here on behalf of the record property owner, so that record reflects.
Because he said AFS had been by.
And in my knowledge, there's no building permits been pulled on, has there?
Okay, the permits are in there.
$6,900.
So do we need to notify the homeowner, certify there?
I think we need to get everybody on the same page, you know.
Because that day, the codes was called in for the first time, when they were, what, the police department had served a warrant, found a stolen motorcycle. And then, since then, Mr. Witt has been arrested again for another issue.
I wasn't aware of that.
He was arrested for possession of meth. What did he before we had the case last time, last year?
I wasn't aware of that.
Yep.
Well, I don't see, our only choice is to pass it, you know, for our next meeting, make sure notifications made, and get the fire marshal's office, codes enforcement to go by, follow up on the electrical and the approval.
Or administrative warrants, are they go in?
You could, would need to still get signed by the clerk and or the city judge. I have it showing that Gary Lee Johnson is listed on it. That's Gary Lee Johnson.
Was here with his mother that day.
From my understanding, his mother is her sister-in-law, from what I understand.
Okay.
Johnson actually.
There's been people coming and going from the house, I've been by it several times, there's different cars there, pickup trucks, stuff like that.
no one's coming to the door, no one comes to the door.
Cherokee there.
The time's up there by the several different calls over the ground. So I'm able to contact them about this.
Probably watching you drive up.
Probably.
But the body does have the right to issue the request for subpoena and for the appearance of the property owners or the occupants, as well as seek an administrative warrant. We have worked on those in the past, so we've got those. And if that's what the body wants to do, then we will need to go through the proper channels to make sure we get it done correctly for due process. We can go through our city court judge and provided that the information we provided them is sufficient for the warrant. We'll be determined on that point whether or not we can get this warrant issued for an administrative inspection.
I know there's numerous code violations in the house. The electrical was one of the most important ones. There was bare wires all over the interior and exterior of the property. They have a motion?
I would like to make a motion that we have a warrant issued for codes to gain access to this property. And I would like to see it done in a very timely manner.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Have a warrant issued for inspection on this property. Go roll call vote, please.
Well, before we do, let me just make one, in addition to the administrative warrant, do you all want to take any action to have this put back on the agenda for January as well? And then in the interim, get an inspection performed?
Okay. I would like to add to that motion that we have all this done so it can be presented on January 13th, 2020. I would also like to see 2 codes people go to this, just for your safety and witness purposes, possibly a police officer.
We'll take them to the certain form.
Okay, I just feel better that way.
No problem.
Okay. Your second stands.
It does. As amended? Amen.
Board Member Rizzo,
Yes.
Board Member Rogers, Board Member Stevens,
I'm gonna abstain. I don't know how I feel with that.
Chairman Winters.
Yes.
Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Our next property on the agenda is 3814 Altamire Drive. We get an update on that property, please.
So we haven't been able to make contact with the owner, Samuel McAllister. To our knowledge, no other work has been done because we haven't been able to get back into the house. He was arrested again recently, so, and I've got no good number for him at this point.
Is he, have you said he?
He's not in jail currently, but,
Okay.
we exchanged contact numbers last time we were there to see him, and that number, I can't contact it anymore, so. Without him being in contact with us, we can't get into the house and do what we need to do, so we have no new information.
There's still multiple people in the house.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I mean, have you seen,
Not that we've seen, but there has been.
and they were certainly hiding before, so.
Oh, yes, so.
Is there any way we can have it boarded up? In the city?
Is there anybody living in it?
They shouldn't be staying in there still, no. Flynn did tell them that if they got the plumbing issue fixed, then we'll talk doors, stuff like that, and we got up there to inspect it, then he would allow them to go back into the property and stay. But the only reason that they were out there so far is to do work and clean up the property.
Jeff and I went by one day and stacked backpacks up near the
does minimal work for like the code violations and the outside the property, but that's all that we can really see.
We were also contacted by a firm that does, debt collection for, mortgage companies. So he was out of the office today. We didn't make contact with him, so we're trying to figure out what's going on. That's great to have. It may be a process.
Will you continue to contact that mortgage company to see if?
Yeah, the email we received from him was he was out of the office today, was he available tomorrow? So,
I've got their phone numbers on my desk.
I would say let's entertain the thought of, when you get the information, when you get access, you can always have an emergency call, me to decide what steps we want to do between now and January as far as, do we need to take it down, whatever we need to do. I'm concerned for the day. People are coming and going and.
Right. I mean, and he's
Well, if
been,
you open that door that day, you find all those people in that building.
right,
Nobody knew was there.
It's absolutely a nuisance.
it is. And anytime we've spoken with Sammy, he's been cooperative, it's just being able to remain in contact with him. That's the struggle.
Bail bonds, people have a way to get out of it. Guess wouldn't that be better information? Bail bonds?
We could try and retrieve his contact information through the city clerk's office. As well, he does have.
The bond information, would be-
Right.
at least you could get the bond. I don't know if they'll release the information, but they have the bond. Do we know if Amber's married?
Yes.
Does anyone have contact information from Ms. Amber?
No.
No.
So if y'all want to proceed that way, then let's have it, when you get in, get inspected, we can always have an emergency meeting and put like, 15 minutes.
I do kind of feel that January is way too.
Yeah, I don't want to wait 63 days.
I don't really want to, ready to go ahead and, as soon as they talk to the banker tomorrow, go ahead and get an inspection on it. We have to have an emergency call meeting on it and determine what to do with it.
I'll put it on hold till we hear from Harris and they talk to the mortgage company.
Just put that in form of a motion and just do it.
I would like to make a motion that we put this on hold till Sarah and Mike can get in touch with the mortgagee and, or mortgage company, and then if necessary, we'll have an emergency meeting. And Mr. McAllister can hear, and anybody else that's associated.
Maybe tentatively for Friday.
Work for them.
I don't have much problem with it.
Depends what time.
It just depends on whatever.
Well, no, I know, that's what I meant, that was kind of tentatively, if you guys can get in touch with them, in the next, Tuesday or Wednesday, we should be able to get that together by Friday, shouldn't we?
Okay, we have a second on this motion.
I second.
We have a motion, a second. Do a roll call, please.
Board Member Rizel?
Yes.
Board Member Rogers?
Yes.
Board Member Stevens?
Yes.
Board Member Wilson?
Yes.
Chairman Winters?
Yes, ma'am. Next property we need an update on is 3220 Gleason Drive. We have a representative here.
Did we not decide to take this place down?
We did.
From what I read here, the gentleman was supposed to complete the process for obtaining his general contractor license as he represented all of us.
missed
He
the
has.
meeting.
He has cleaned up somewhat, the building is still unsecured, but as far as the property itself, the garbage is gone. I believe he was supposed to get with Melissa and do some zoning paperwork, he has yet to do that, so.
I was up at the property also again. I saw some brush that had been cut, looks like cut a couple of months ago, placed across the driveway.
I was just up there today, as a matter of fact, by our board meeting, so.
Yeah, so you see you can't access all the way to the property because the road's blocked.
Yeah, you can go down and back up. Like I said, all the doors and windows are still open on it, it's unsecured, but as far as
Well,
17 years ago.
How many months has he been telling us he's going to get a
At least-
contractor license?
At least 8 or 9.
Okay. I mean,
Because you got
I
no
can't remember
testing,
if it was 3 or 4, or if it was closer to a year.
because you got no testing that
We've dealt
I'll
with
give
this.
that part.
All right, I think we've bowed down to him and left. You know, we've waited for contractor's license, we've waited for everything. I'd like to make a motion, just take the property down.
I'll second, because I was going to make the same motion.
He's got 10 days to get to the council to build this, correct, Mr. Litchfield?
That's
Yes.
We have a motion and a second on the floor, please, get a roll call vote.
Member Ezell?
Yes.
Board Member Rogers?
Yes.
Board Member Stevens?
Yes.
Board Member West?
Yes.
Chairman Winter?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
For the public information out here, this property burned 18 years ago, and it has never been repaired in the last 18 years. It was the parking lot and the side of the hill was saturated with debris that was only cleaned up about a month ago. We've been dealing with this for a long, long time, but I think it's time to get it out of the board's hand and pass it on to the city commission, because no progress has been made on it, period. So,
He's missed the last 2 meetings, too. Yeah. So, let's just, if you start that process, let us know when it's on.
our next property on the agenda is 708 Donaldson Road.
I'm Nancy Hayes,
Nancy.
and I just recently bought the property for my son, Ted Hayes. As y'all know, he's a procrastinator.
He's the one that owns the roofing company, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The note said, the paper said that we've not done any work, but I would beg to differ if you get inside. I've spent $2,200 at Chicks recently on wood. I ordered the windows, I'm waiting on them. The roof should be done next week. Ted and his crew cut down a huge tree that was right next to the windows in the master bedroom. We've cleaned up a ton of trash out of the yard, and we're waiting to get the siding off. We're going to put vinyl siding on it. So within 2 months, and I promise, it will have a new roof, new windows, and vinyl siding.
Just for information to the board members, I did go by that property and look at it, and I walked the property before several months ago, and it has had substantial improvements to it, so I know she is working, or somebody's been working on the
We have
property.
been working very, yes,
And I did see the huge tree that has, been taken down.
yes, yes. And the neighbors cleaned up their part of the fence line after we cleaned up, so I thought
But
that
I
was
did
a good
see all
thing.
of the windows had been removed from it, and you've done some work around the front porch on it,
Right.
and the loud siding's been removed from it.
Part of it, yeah, we're going to take that off and put vinyl on.
And the garage building in the back has been boarded up, so.
We can't ask for much more than that.
Well,
Yeah.
we're here to work with people, we want you to be successful and get your property back up to the codes.
Right.
And,
She's gonna have to pull a new permit, though, 'cause that.
Well, that one, I've still got a month on the old permit, and as soon as I get the bill of sale, I'll pull a new permit, that's on my,
'Cause I know
my
it
list.
expires December
Yes.
7th.
Yes.
The truck, it's located.
It will be moved.
Okay.
Actually, if no work started within 6 months of that permit being issued, it's invalid.
That permit's dead. Well, he did some work.
but
Yeah.
it was interior work.
Right. It's the interior,
For any inspections, framing or plumbing.
well, the framing inspection will be called for within the next couple of weeks. We're redoing the floor plan. It'll be 3-2, where it was a 2-1.
Hopefully we won't have the rain that we did last is really the roof and the siding are the only things that are going to be affected by that,
Yeah.
if that's the case.
Well, the roof should
I
be
just want
done
to take
next
that
week.
time for timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
So
you're,
I expect within a month to have at least the windows in the roof. I don't know about the vinyl siding. It will depend on whether or not I can get mine.
I make a motion to pass her January, see where she is.
Yeah, thanks. I feel confident that by January we'll be able to show significant progress.
We have a motion and a second over here. Get a roll call to pass it till January, get an update on the property. But that'll give you time, even if you don't get your vinyl siding on,
Right.
get some house wrap on it
Right,
as you install your windows on it.
right.
It'll make a big difference in the appearance of the exterior.
Yeah, just getting that truck moved will make a big difference.
Well,
That will tickle the neighbors.
Pardon?
That will tickle the neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you're getting on the ball with it, so that's.
Well, I moves and my son procrastinates.
Thank you.
You're Miss Hayes?
I miss Hayes.
What's your first name, Miss Hayes?
Nancy,
Hayes. And your son's name is Ted?
yes.
Who is DC Edge trustee? That's what the property is.
Maybe that's his business name.
I think it is. I couldn't,
Who's he?
I don't know.
He's based, got a corporation based on that. He's got the location listed as 708 Donaldson Road on his business cards. Are you aware of that? Okay. He's got it listed 708 Donaldson Road, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 374.2 Street.
I don't understand what the question is.
Well, I'm just letting you know, he's basing his roofing business out of that address.
No, but that's okay with me. I don't care.
Okay. But you don't have an interest in the property?
In the,
You don't have
in the
ownership
business.
in the business.
I bought the property.
What did you buy?
It's been less than 6 weeks ago. We close here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you haven't closed yet?
No.
You're in a contract to buy?
Right.
Okay, okay. All right, so it's still in the name of DC Edge as trustee
Okay.
owner.
Okay.
And so that's who I assume you'll be person from.
Right.
And DC Edge, do you know a gentleman by the name of Mr. Edge?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, all right. All right, well, Nancy Hayes, you're gonna be buying it, but you're not occupying the property, correct?
No, it'll be rental or sold. I'm not sure which. It depends.
What will be an address that, you're gonna have all taxes, taxes?
1125 Westwood Avenue.
Westwood?
Yes, sir. Windward. Chattanooga 37405.
That's the Chattanooga?
Yes.
3705. All right, we'll
Yes.
add you on here as well.
okay, we did get a roll call vote, right? Not yet, okay.
Board Member Ezell?
Yes.
Board Member Rogers?
Yes.
Board Member Stevens?
Yes.
Board Member Wilson?
Yes.
Chairman Winters?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, you'll get your notice in the mail, and we'll need somebody to come back and make sure that the sale did go through, because,
Oh, I will.
okay,
Yeah, I'll stay on top of it. I'm putting all this money in it. Yes, it'll be in my name.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. Next property on the agenda is 1318 West End Avenue. Get an update on that property, please.
So, on October the 28th, we went out there with Eastridge Police and Animal Services. We discovered that it was definitely unsafe structure for habitation, and there were multiple code violations, including insufficient windows, plumbing, the HVAC units, and sanitary infestation. There are a lot of animals there at the property. I let Mrs. Rollins, as well as her daughter, Jamie, know that she needed to fill out a substantial improvement form and have that back to me by Friday, last Friday, with the contractor's information. She failed to do so.
I called you Friday, but you weren't in,
Correct.
and I told him I couldn't get a contractor in until this Friday, because it was a short notice. Okay, the cats are from the house behind me on Pleasant Street. I have told Philip before, he needs to do something with them animals, because people are dropping them off at that house,
You're talking about the vacant house right behind you?
right behind me.
Who is Phyllis?
Is the owner of the house behind me, who's been time and time again in the court system.
Right. Phillips property. So,
What's his property address?
1317 Pleasant Street.
We've been here for over a year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Philip,
It's the one that sold
It's the one
premium,
that nobody,
or Memphis.
the Memphis Premium Trust owns it, and
Yeah,
okay.
and somebody's pulling the rafters out from under
The floor.
They work on there on weekends. They come over there on weekends when you guys ain't open. And the cops know. They sit at the church parking lot when they're over there working on it.
Where they're doing repairs on it.
Yeah. On the side of the house where you can't see from the street, they're jacking it up.
we'll notify PD.
Okay, because there was a
Because I'm
section
sure
of that.
PD doesn't know codes, stuff, so we'll notify the police department.
Let me ask a question just for clarity. Was Mr. Phillips part of the Memphis Title Company? I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't believe it is.
was he wasn't connected with it at all? Okay.
Yeah, we had a notice posted on that, somebody took it down and threw it down in the front yard.
You had boards on the house and everything.
Yeah.
And there's been a bunch of Mexicans over there taking them down.
And there's stacks of lumber out back covered in it with tarps.
Lowe's delivered those 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's been longer than that.
They cleared that lumber 45 weeks ago.
Well, let's get back onto my property. I talked to him today, told him the contractor will be out Friday, the one who called back today, because I have called several in Chattanooga. I got a hold of a housing inspector. He can't come out till the 1st of December. So we've been taking out the old floors. We didn't realize some of the floors had 3 levels of flooring. I'm now to the original floor of the hardwood floors of this house.
So you pulled a permit for any of this?
No.
So does she not need permits
She
before
does.
she starts any of this?
To replace flooring essentially,
I was planning on
It's
it.
all-
If it's
it's
3
subfloor
levels, what if
that's
some
covered.
of it's asbestos?
then yeah.
You know, that's the hazard you run into with
Right.
those houses, like because that one over and was full of asbestos.
Is anyone living in this house?
Yeah, I do live in the house. I got the bathroom floor is where whoever had the house before, I did in the early 90s, did fix the floor. And I replaced the whatever you want to call it, the plastic around the tub and stuff. I didn't know you had to have a permit for one of those. Okay, I replaced that the other day. I put Kill on the wall, painted Kill on the wall and everything, because when I painted the kids the bathroom before, my husband was alive, he loved Florida Gators, so I painted it dark blue. So it's hard to paint over dark blue. So you have to put Kill on it to kill the darkness, and I'm going back to white.
You own another piece of property?
Yes, she owns 1312 Pleasant Street. That was demolished, and they didn't finish demolishing it. They left part of the front room. It's still in the yard.
I know,
So it's not, I personally worried about that one.
You know, part of it at the back of the porch and the front room was right there together.
So it's a block over, or concrete blocks here.
That's almost there is concrete blocks, there's nothing left standing on that property.
205, 13.
Yep.
ASA Engineering was driving up down that street and doing surveys and
No.
search that, correct?
that other property they own
Yeah,
is
it's completely gone.
1312.
Okay, and
You have a plan to work yourself out of the situation you're in?
Yeah, I plan on fixing the bathroom, putting the floor back to work and everything. I've been taking out old stuff that's been there since 1980. It's been in good shape. The house never flooded until the early 70s. That's the only time myself was told when I purchased the house that flooded. Last time the flood waters. So I am now like saying, getting some of this old wood, it's just been sitting there, and trying to straighten it all out.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am,
Okay. And is you said your husband had passed away?
yes.
I passed by that house the other day, I saw a gentleman going in.
That's my cousin,
Okay. Okay.
and if you notice, we painted that since this past summer,
Yeah,
and we had to stop painting because we ran into beehives in some of those spots.
I know there was a bankruptcy involved, and I know that you go back, 3 years on back taxes, are they included in the bankruptcy?
Yes, they're included with the bankruptcy.
So I know you're probably on limited income, what you can do with, you know, so you have to.
I'm working 2 jobs right now. That's why I started cleaning up the house.
Yeah. Well,
So why are you hiring a home inspection company?
Because one contractor told me I had to hire an inspector, home inspector, to come in there before he'd touch it.
To me, what my experience with home inspectors is they're a dime a dozen, and one will say one thing and another will say another, and they're never on the same page. To me, that's a waste of money.
yeah.
But a lot of contractors will not touch it unless you get a home inspector now.
I've never heard that, but,
My thought would be you have a contractor there, and then codes your contractor there on the site at that time, and then codes can tell him what has to be done on that form and so forth like that, and move through it in that manner.
I thought the same way.
Now, I'm not aware that you have to have or any construction company would ask for home inspection prior to them starting doing work. Usually the home inspections, they have the real estate companies, and our realtor left the building.
how are you going about trying to find a contractor? Have you completed
I
your
went
background?
through the phone books, I went through Craigslist, I went through Facebook Market, and I finally got one to call me last week.
You know, there's a few people that need work. You can look in a Sunday paper. You can go to the classified ads and just go through and see if you can
Have you
find
seen the
them.
classifieds? There's not much classifieds no more.
But
They're
maybe
all
somebody can
online.
refer
Why are you
something.
not just using Google?
I have, and I like it is leave your name and number and we'll get back with you.
Okay, any recommendations? This is our first time on this property. We'll face it again. Give an opportunity to move forward on it.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see her have, whenever she does find a contractor, have codes meet with the contractor, and then we just sit down, here's what she's got to do, here's what she needs permits for, to get this house in compliance, so that you don't have to keep coming back here.
That's what I want. I don't want to keep coming back here and back here, back and forth, back and forth.
So I make a motion to pass it January 13th with the stipulation that you work closely with our codes department. And
Oh, yeah. I let them right in the door when I came.
And let's just move from there.
You have a second on this?
And one thing can I ask? Okay, the air conditioning unit, Terry last year got me for that, the air conditioning unit. She came back to readjust everything, and it was taken off, because I was supposed to go to court for the air conditioner unit last year.
The biggest issue with the HVAC system is the ductwork under the house is floating,
Oh, that's old ductwork, the new ductwork's up in the attic.
as well as the vents inside the house.
Yeah, that's all.
Some
new
are there
ductwork.
and some aren't.
Yeah. All the new ductwork comes up from the ceiling.
Overhead,
Yes, because I was afraid if it ever flooded again, I didn't want to lose another central heat and air.
well, that one needs to be removed because it's got
It's-
insulation inside of it.
Yeah, it's all that insulation has to be moved.
We have,
How old is photographs attached to your notice?
We went to the property on October the 28th.
Ms. Rollins, you're telling us that these have been removed and repaired already? The ducting that was floating on the bottom?
I'm in the progress of doing that right now.
Mr. Wilson, I've got the order, I think that I understood it, passed to January 13th. In the meantime, property owners to obtain the services of a home inspector and contacts the code enforcement department to coordinate an inspection, right?
The contractor, not home
Oh,
inspector.
excuse me.
I'm not a big fan of home inspectors.
No, they run.
All right.
I use Texas, but
Oh, yeah, because the one I caught, he wanted $475, and he could come out in 32 hours.
If you want to put a deadline on when she needs to get that residential contractor out there. We're meeting obviously by January 13th.
yeah, I'd like to see something done way before then. Is it possible,
Some kind of update or something.
could we be updated somehow by today's the 11th, 2 weeks from today, the 25th?
Yes.
I originally asked for the contractor to be there by last Friday.
Okay. All right, let's just go with a 2-week extension, put that, I guess, in my motion. And then you got, coach can notify us via email if they're in compliance with this. If not, then they can set an emergency hearing and we can do something before January 13th.
We have an amended motion.
I'll say.
We have a motion, second, give a roll call, please.
Board Member Ezell?
Yes.
Board Member Rogers?
Yes.
Board Member Stevens?
Yes.
Board Member Gibson?
Yes.
Chairman Winters?
Yes. You know, with a little help from your friends over there, you can get your house back in compliance.
Oh, I know.
We want you to do it. We don't want to cause you no hard problems, but just get your home in compliance with the city's help.
I know.
You can do that. And try in the next couple of weeks to get you a contractor to come in. You call codes enforcement, get them to come down and meet you. And just go through the scenario, what kind of permits you're gonna need, what needs to be repaired, and get on the same page with them.
Yeah.
We'll send you out a notice, okay?
Okay.
And let's hold on for a second. Codes has marked this house as uninhabitable for human occupancy. It's unfit for human occupancy, under section 108, 1.3. Significant disrepair and sanitary vermin pests, contains filth contamination, location of structure, contains a hazard to the occupants and to the public. There's water leakage, there's improper heating air units. I think we're scratching that off.
Right.
Everything else is, you know, is it safe for her to live there?
I personally would not think so. There's open holes to the floor, straight to the ground.
That's what we've been running into, taking up floors.
But at this point,
It's down to where you see the floor.
right, when you're standing in the kitchen or what was the kitchen, you see dirt.
So is there a way that they could utilize plywood or something like that to?
I mean, there's
Back up
plywood on some holes already, like an old heater, I think, maybe in the living room.
Yeah, so that's where they took out that old unit.
But in the kitchen or the laundry room,
The laundry room had I didn't know the hot water tank had the plastic bowl it sits in, had a crack in it.
Okay, but this is built,
And so we took out the hot water tank and took out that wood. And the fire marshal got to see it. And we're eventually gonna replace the whole floor
okay?
and put new flooring down and everything on the new floor.
Do you have a place you can stay?
No, we don't.
So what are our options, Mr. Richard? Can she stay there at her own risk? We have to make.
I mean, the problem is you set that precedent. If you say, well, you can stay there, but you're at your own risk, one of these, or two, we have an obligation to protect the health and safety of the occupants as well as, it may not just be her that's in the house. Others could get in there.
How many other people are looking for
Just
asylum?
me and my mom.
You have mulch plywood there you could put over those
Yes.
to cover those.
Yes, I do.
And can you do something about the window that's broken out to cover it so that animals can't come and go through the
Yes,
glass?
I'm in the progress of doing that.
If you can make it where it's secure and there's no outs, nothing externally could be viewed or place you or anybody visiting you at risk. Because if our codes person went through there and failed, you know, technically you'd be liable for them.
Yeah.
So we would encourage you to work towards that manner in a very timely way.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable. I just don't want to see our citizens at risk for hurting themselves. I don't know what to say to that.
Cameron, if you get those done, would that resolve at least the emergency situation or entering the property? If you get that done, presumably, even almost today or tonight.
I would be more willing to come by tomorrow.
Okay.
The biggest issue for me personally is the hole in the laundry room.
Oh, that's been fixed.
It's an issue.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
been fixed, a hot water tank.
The window in the front of the house.
Yeah.
Passes out.
See, what happened is, 3 Sundays ago, my house got broken into. Okay? I was at work. I have a flea market booth. I spend my Sundays at the New York Flea Market. And I have one at the I-75. And I work at Chattanooga Free Press. And I didn't know my house got broken into. I don't talk to my neighbors. I don't talk to nobody in my neighborhood. I stay to myself. No one called the cops. I go in my house. My mama's medicine's missing. My car keys come up missing. And all of a sudden, they get involved. I tried to tell the officers in the house, we found out who got my stuff. They're like, we don't care. The kid that got my stuff wants me to pay for my stuff to get it back. So it's like I went from one problem to a bigger problem. And I don't even think they knew my house got broken into when they came in there.
Well, it's hard for inspectors to know everything. We know you've got a big burden on your shoulders already, you know, what you're going through. But we want you to get your house in compliance and livable. We want it to be safe. And,
Okay.
anything else?
Well, I think we need to modify the motion
Yeah,
to provide in there that you want these emergency repairs to be performed in less than 24 hours.
Well, the other motion is null and void at this point. At this time, I would like to make a motion that you take care of the immediate repairs to fix this front window. And I don't care if you have to nail a piece of plastic, plywood over it or whatever, but, because it's fixing to turn cold.
Yeah, I know.
And that needs to be sealed up just for your own sake.
Yeah.
2, the floor, a hole in the floor that they were talking about.
It's fixed. I should have took a picture and brought it with me.
If there's no holes in the floor, when you get to the point that you're having holes in the floor, put plywood down there. When people are not working on it. And with that, I would like to see it where you and Cameron are in touch with one another on a routine basis, whether it's email, phone, I don't care. But get a contractor, let's get something done in the next 2 weeks, 14 days.
Okay.
I know we're coming up on holidays, that creates some issues and things, so if we need to add a few more days to it, fine, we won't be real stringent on those dates. But we do need to move,
Yes.
and you need to work on getting permits pulled, because the permits protect you in
Yeah.
the long run. Because if you're doing work that's not approved by codes or permits, then if something happened, your homeowner doesn't have to pay you a penny.
I know.
And the mortgage company or anybody would not like that either. So with that being said, I'd like to see the major things done, the contractors report, the FEMA form
Okay.
done in 14 days.
Okay.
Anybody want a second?
I will second. So that's the form though that we had so much trouble with before, right? And
Yes.
so you understand?
Well, it's a
Yeah,
different
we
form I got now. It's-
Okay, just want to make sure. Don't want to bring up the, but, you know. Yeah, I'll second.
Well, see, I had a contractor who was gonna be here, come to the house today, but I'm here instead of meeting him.
Yeah, next time bring him with you.
Was he not there at 3, what'd you say?
No, he was stuck in traffic, and I told him I had to be down here at 4.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
We gave you all
Taking
of that.
dedication, it's on y'all, and
I think so. Let me make sure Mr. Wilson, I've got it here. Immediate undertaking efforts to repair emergency dangerous conditions, which I understand include the holes in the floor, the windows sealed up completely.
And there's a hole in the foundation that needs something put over it, in the brick foundation here on paved. There's a lot of access, it's at the ground level.
All right. Further, she shall obtain the services of a resident contract, code enforcement, and this coordinated inspection, which shall occur no later than November 25th. Did I hear something about a substantial?
Yeah, we need the substantial improvement forms completed within.
This property is flood.
It is.
Okay. Yeah, that's the foundation hole it's talking about. That's letting animals in. So there are fish plywood over it, somebody's pulled it down, which is common in that area. They like to.
Well, yeah, I took it off to take pictures of the hole, so we put them back.
A lot of the homeless people like to jerk off.
Yes.
Get in the houses. So.
When she come out there, that's why I told her I had took my back porch down, because homeless were sleeping on it, and they would not listen. When you work third shift, they take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
When do you want the substantial completion form?
By November the 25th.
You want it completed by November 25th?
I'd like to see it completed by the 25th. We've been passing this form around. It's been around the world 2 or 3 times.
well, not on this case.
Yeah, this is first one on this one.
So,
It seems to, the contractor seems to have a trouble filling them out though.
Yeah. One guy said when I talked to him, he goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, I just deal with Chattanooga. I don't deal with East Ridge."
So I have this, commissioners, I have, property owners shall undertake efforts to repair the emergency dangerous conditions, including the holes in the floor, windows sealed up, and the gap in the foundation at ground level. Property owners shall obtain the services of a residential contractor and contact code enforcement to meet on the property in connection with the evaluation of the property. Property owners shall, or must, all those actions must occur not later than November 25th, 2019. In addition, the property owner shall complete a FEMA substantial improvement form completed and submitted by November 25th, 2019. In the event existential circumstances exist on the property, the commission should authorize the code enforcement to call an emergency meeting to address the conditions rendering the property dangerous and uninhabitable. And then the commission moves to pass this to January 13, at which time the commission will determine what, if any, additional actions to take. Okay. That's what I had understood the motion to be from Mr. Wilson.
Okay, we have a new motion on
My
that,
motion.
Earl made.
You got a second?
Okay, we have a motion to second on the amended motion. Do the roll call, please.
Board Member Rizal.
Yes.
Board Member Rogers.
Yes.
Board Member Stevens.
yes.
Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Chairman White.
Yes.
It's all.
I could make a recommendation. I know Clayton Holmes is right in front of him.
Yeah, I have to go over there and tell them somebody took off their electrical meter off their house, off the main box last night.
Well, what I was gonna recommend, they have some excellent carpenters.
Yeah.
Some of their carpenters, you know, whenever they go out and build porches in the garage, they have to build by the standard building code, that building code. And this possibility, you could contract with one of those on the side. I know that contract primarily to Clayton Homes, but it would be excellent carpenters, excellent help, that would be there close for you. I know most of them, but I know they do side jobs occasionally, but they might be a source for you.
Okay.
They have electricians, they have plumbers, and they have state licensed setup crews for manufacturing modular housing. So they would be capable of doing it for you.
Okay.
All right, you'll get your letter in the mail, and just work hard on getting it completed, okay?
and I'll get that window fixed for Stanley. Thank you.
You'll need it tonight, that's for sure.
The next property on our agenda is 3707 Wiley Avenue. Do we have representatives here from that property?
Yeah.
Have you made contact with the property owners on?
I have posted the notice on the front door as well as certified mail. I have not received a green card back.
There's somebody at that house today driving a silver Dodge Ram pickup.
They live across the street.
Dave across the street.
Okay.
Yeah, we park there so that people think there's somebody there and they don't go in and do something else. We don't know where the people are as of now.
This is the lady that I made contact with as
Yeah.
well.
I'll go there, I think.
I know, we're gonna go talk to you when you ran off.
We'll all hit somewhere.
She and I were saying, who's that guy? We're gonna go get
Y'all can come on up, stand and talk to us about it. You want to, John?
John, yeah.
I'll go over there,
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't know where the owners are?
His name is Henry Green. I'm John Vlassis. I live at 3705 Wiley Avenue next to him. If you're facing, I'm on the left. And our neighbors, and we got concerned, you know, we saw him a couple months, probably been a couple months since I've seen him, or maybe a little longer. I'd see him picking up the mail and then leave. And the front door is kind of open at the bottom, and what got us is people walking by, and you have, you know, 5 or 6 rats crawling in the main picture window, you know, licking the moisture off the window. And then Halloween night, you know, that was the place to see because all the kids were, look, rats in the window. They thought it was a haunted house. But, you know, we're worried because if you go by there, I think you had to go, I think the code people went by there one time and had to withdraw a bunch of vehicles that were just stacked in the back. He had 5 or 6.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was some other.
Okay. Yeah, we weren't there for that.
Now, that's been a couple of years.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. And then, but, I mean, you can look at the outside, nothing's been done to it, yard work or anything, if it wasn't for Pat's son going over there and cutting the grass and us keeping an eye on the place to make sure nobody's breaking in. You
How
know,
long's the property been vacant? How long have they been gone?
how long do you think he moved out? 6 months ago? 9 months ago?
Right after his wife passed away, I think, you know.
Are you sure he's
Even
gone?
before
Not
that,
on house
maybe,
deed.
Well, I mean, if he,
He might be.
We all looked at
Is
it.
there a way?
well, last thing we knew, he was living with his son.
Well, when we had gone up there, we had brought Petey with us, and then not enough reason to try to go into the house either, so.
But the interior is definitely an issue.
Oh,
Yeah, because there's a
There's
window on the
chest
front
level at
side,
the debris.
in the attic, it's open.
okay,
Yeah.
it's been open.
It's been open
I've
forever.
been
And
there
there's a
13
cat
years and
sitting
it's
on
been
the
open.
front door today, and while I was there, the curtains moved.
Well, that's because of rats.
Okay. Next time I'll take.
Big ones.
So, I mean, you know, we're concerned, you know,
That's you.
something needs to be done because, you know, once they do something there, the rats are gonna leave
Yeah.
the place and, you know, what house are they gonna go to, you know?
Just don't let them go across the street.
You know.
Where you are.
But, you know, I'd like to get in touch with him and talk to him and see, you know, maybe make an offer on the place or something and, you know, redo it or whatever, but I mean,
It's got good bones.
yeah, I mean, it's a well-built house. It used to be just a very pristine little house, and the lady that sold it, the Tausers used to own it and sold it to them, and every time she sees me, she just puts her head down and says, I'm sorry. Because, I mean, they kept it in tip-top shape. And all the neighbors around there, I mean, we all keep our houses in good shape there on Wiley Avenue. And up on the...
Well, it seems to me we just need to do a little investigate and find out where the
Yeah.
property owner is.
Definitely.
And maybe get the police department to assist in gaining access
Do a
to
well
the interior.
Yeah, I'll definitely get on that tomorrow.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, we can give you our contact number where you can let us know what's, going on. So, I mean,
Just for the record, John Velasquez was my partner in the rescue squad, Chattanooga County, for about 40 years. Pretty close.
Oh,
Yeah, one of the best paramedics. He's a retired chief Chinle Fire Department also, but he's been an outstanding citizen in East Ridge, and thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks. I just, we just, we don't have any malice toward our neighbor. We just, we're worried about it.
Yeah.
But we just need to get something done because, It affects your property.
Right.
It affects everybody up there.
Yes, we
And,
want to find out what's next.
If I understand correctly, his wife died.
Right.
October, I just looked it up.
Okay.
But before that, they had moved out because I talked to his son once, Jeremy, and he bought a house up behind East Ridge Elementary, I guess, the new one they just built, the new school.
yeah.
And he said the parents moved in with him because they had more of an open floor plan, and his mother was sick and it was too hard for him to get around in the house.
His name is Jeremy Green and his daddy's name's Henry Green. So maybe y'all can check something. And I don't think the taxes have been paid on the house for last year or possibly this year either.
I've got a report here on
How long has the house been vacant?
Been vacant?
A year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It has the light on. I guess I know there's still power on, but.
last year's taxes. Last year's taxes. This year's have not been paid, and last year's are still outstanding and still active. But
Yeah, we
we still have
appreciate
the
you.
billing addresses, 3707 Wiley Avenue.
I
We
don't know.
appreciate the
He
work
must have
you
put a
do.
change of address through at the post office, or if you send a certified letter, it should have gone to the change of address. Because I haven't seen, I'm home all day long, okay, so I see, and I haven't noticed his car in a long, long time picking up the mail, so therefore.
Well, the post office could have forwarded it to
Yeah,
another address.
but can't you find out from them if he has a forwarding address?
We'll
Potentially.
let the investigators do that. Yeah, that's in the department.
I would have to.
You guys can give Pat, she's from Buffalo, New York.
Never would have known.
So give her a hard time.
That's right next to Niagara Falls, isn't it?
Pardon?
Right next to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
So
I've been there many times.
Unless.
make effort to try to contact the property. I have it Henry Green and Arlene Green is what I can tell from the records.
That's what.
Correct.
But the property owners appear to be perhaps either evading contact, but in any event,
Evidently the post office is forwarding their mail to another address.
they are.
Evidently they are. Just, if nobody's up there picking up mail,
I mean, if they would have forwarded the mail, I would have gotten the green card back from the certified envelope.
if they had acknowledged it,
Right.
But I'll tell you one thing also, they used to have packages delivered, and it would sit on their doorstep for weeks, because they were never there, nobody picked them up.
The last time, or when we originally responded, on October the 14th, I posted the notice the following day, and it has not been touched.
Still on the front door, talk right in.
Uh-huh.
So the son,
That's how we need to be here.
Yeah.
yeah, you said the son lives in East Ridge.
Is what we think, is that right?
Yeah,
And his name's Jeremy.
behind, the road behind the elementary school, whatever.
Ely Road.
DB Road?
It shouldn't be that complicated to run the sun down. It's just a matter of taking time to do it.
And Mr. Reed may be in ill health and
Yeah.
Yeah.
not aware of anything too, so who knows?
Motion to pass it to 13th.
Yes.
Have a second.
With the condition that Karen's going to do research.
Definitely.
We have a second.
I'll second
Why didn't
Have a motion second to pass it to January. You get a roll call, please.
Board Member Ezell.
Yes.
Board Member Rogers.
Yeah.
Board Member Stevens.
Yes.
Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Chairman Winters.
Yes.
Yeah.
4106 Eagle Road.
4106. You said Elam?
E-A-L-Y.
And that's their son? What's his first name?
Jeremy.
You said 4106?
Jeremy Green.
Okay.
Can I ever mention my mother was a private investigator, so, you know, this is just, yeah.
I always heard that was somebody that carried a briefcase that was 25 miles away from home.
You know what it really is? My mother used to knit in the car while she was still running.
Chairman Winters, one question. If it's passed till the 13th, and they make contact with them, will they ask him to try to clean it up or anything prior to, or do you have to wait till?
If they make contact with somebody in code enforcement, we can call a special meeting.
Because I know the bottom of that front door's open, and, you know,
Right,
for a
that's
long.
the entryway for,
Yeah, I think, well, somebody may just kick it in, you may have some bakers in there, I mean, you know, you just don't know, it may not, and they may be able to get the back door, I don't know. They can call
The
it
back,
an emergency.
you were there? No, you can look at it downstairs, it's fine.
Okay. All right, thanks. Thank you.
Good to see you, John.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, well,
No.
Ken. Ken. 3220, Gleason.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you did, didn't you? I was looking on the very back.
All right.
We got one more case before we get to that one now. Let's go to 5346 Greenville Road. We have representatives here from that property. Sarah, can you tell us what's going on with this, please?
I guess we need your name.
Michelle Schrader, I manage the property management company that manages that property.
Okay.
And I'm Scott Schrader, her husband, and also I'm a general contractor.
Okay. Sarah, you want to tell us about the property, what's going on with it?
So the codes department was notified of this property because they were there looking at someone run from the PD. And they made entry into one of the rooms, and they immediately knew that we needed to be called. So we went there and we got access to the first room, which deplorable is a light but accurate word to describe it. And then we were granted access to the rest of the rooms. Most were better than the first, but still pretty deplorable living conditions for the residents there. Health concerns are just top priority there, and it's immense.
I was looking up on some of the property records on that property. Your company just took over within the last year, is that correct? G&M Properties?
Correct.
Okay. The previous owner was Jason Farmer? Okay. And what's G&M's properties, what are their intentions?
We have, as people have moved out, have gone in and started, painting, fixing the units as we went through. The particular unit that she went in is one we've been trying to evict for the last 6 weeks. However, she's been evading service. Our attorneys, even though they have obviously her home address and also her work address, have been unable to serve her. So unfortunately, we've been unable to get her out. We would love to. We've been trying to for almost 2 months. But we can't legally go in and take over the room until we, get a set-out order. We have been going over there daily to run off the vagrants that she brings with her. She seems to have turned it into sort of a homeless shelter. So everybody comes there and brings bicycles and takes them apart, and they're apparently some of the people that stay there are very familiar with the Eastridge Police Department. So what we could do is go there every single day, several times a day, and run off the people who are not on the lease, who are not legally required, allowed to be there, and we have been doing that. And as far as the other units, we've gone in and we're fixing them up, painting the units, fixing holes in the wall, fixing windows that have been broken out. Several of the units kept getting broken into even after we fixed them, so we've just been replacing windows. We completely remodeled what used to be the manager's unit of when it was a hotel. Just had it completely rewired and remodeled, new sheetrock, new electrical, and that's the building that's in front of the L-shaped building. The L-shaped building is the one that we're here about today.
Are you pulling permits for all of these improvements as you go?
The painting, no, I didn't pull any.
About the electrical?
Yes, there was a permit. It's 4650 is the manager's unit. It has a different street address than the L-shaped portion of it, so it did pass all the electrical inspections. And we've had an electrician come out and give us an estimate to work on the L-shaped portion of it, which is the 5346 address. So we are working on bringing those things, up to.
I know when I pull that property up, just from my own personal interest, 5346 Ringo Road, it also lists that property for Frank Beaver's painting company in apartment number 5. Are you familiar with them?
Apartment number 5 is empty. That's the last one we just went in and painted and, replaced the ceiling fan and put a new light in.
We've gone into several of the units and started doing work on it, fixing,
Cosmetic stuff.
Cosmetic stuff, doing some things as far as, fixing holes in sheetrock, trying to get an assessment of what's going on in there. But then
we've also
this
gone
one
through
that-
a whole bunch of evictions,
Yeah.
getting rid of the problem tenants since we started taking it over, starting with the manager unit. And many of the units have been through eviction, trying to get out the people that are causing the problems.
I know eviction in Hamilton County stuff.
Yeah,
It's a very long.
The woman in 4 was evidently off and on homeless before she moved in there. And so she has brought in every stray that she can possibly find. And a lot of them end up kicking in doors to other units and going in.
So we've been daily going by, trying to, is what we're legally allowed to do to get them off the premises, anybody that's not on a lease. The same with Unit 9. We found out it was rented to one person, and there was a gentleman that was helping her pay her rent. But then apparently 3 more showed up, which we found out about. And so we've been, going through and asking anybody that's not on the lease to leave. That way there's not, 5 people living in a 1-bedroom efficiency.
So is there any way, I've noticed from pictures that most of the fire alarms are disconnected or not working.
So
So can we,
that has been fixed. That part has been fixed in terms of the smoke alarms and the extinguishers. That has been corrected. So at this point, it's the covers on all of the electrical outlets. It's the complete cockroach infestation that
And we have
stems
that
from
property
the number
treated
4.
monthly. We've had an exterminating service for the last year, treating that properly monthly. We've even gone into the attic and treated the attic, but when you get tenants like are in Unit 4, it undoes all of the progress that we've made. And it takes so long to get them out once they become a problem that it gets reinfested. So even though we do treat every single month and have treated, the attics and underneath the house, when someone like that comes in, it undoes all the progress we've made.
and we're putting together some plans with the actual owner of the property to go in and start just completely remodeling, bringing everything up to code. We would like to see it.
To go from the 1-bedroom efficiencies to combine 2 rooms, instead of having 8 separate rooms, to do 4 2-room units with a bathroom and a kitchenette, so that we would attract a better clientele. And that way we could keep it. When we do these improvements, unfortunately, a lot of times people come in and undo them for us, which is what's happened.
or how many people are living on site at this time?
There, let's see, 5 is the only 5 and 8 are the only vacant units.
8 units?
Yes, and
Plus the building out?
Well, there's 10 units plus the building out front, which we call Unit 11, which is the
4 or 5 months
office.
ago, at 5 o'clock Friday afternoon, my Cal and Charlie had to go up there because all the furniture had been moved out of that big house to the parking lot.
Yeah, that was what they were doing.
Yeah, we had to set out.
Yeah, we
And
had
then
to set
we
that.
were legally required to leave it there for 48 hours before we could come back and get it, which is unfortunate, but we did come back and get it as soon as we were allowed to. And I think it happened over a weekend too, so we came back on that
Yeah.
Monday.
Set out was on a Friday afternoon, and, we even stressed to the officer that, with the county that, this is gonna be a problem. He said, legally, you can't touch it
Until
until
48 hours.
until 48 hours.
Okay, my question is there a way under codes that we can board this place up and get everybody out of here because this place is a hazard on the tenants and the people in the
There are
community?
quite a few people that are gonna be homeless, that don't have other places to go, to completely close down the place. There are good people that
The
live
gentleman
there,
in
that are
6,
just under, monetary constraints or,
oh, he's the sweetest.
Have you inspected all units?
I have, except, with the exception of 7 and 10.
and we've been trying to get a hold of the gentleman at 7, we just gotta go there at 6:30 in the morning before he leaves for work.
Okay.
I spoke with the gentleman in 10 today, he says that we're more than welcome to come in.
Okay.
So we also have, one of the people that's living there now is actually a pretty good carpenter. He's actually come on board with my company.
As of today.
As of today. So we're gonna have somebody that's going to be able to be in there and actually start doing work. We don't want to let this slide because, for us, it's all about, making the improvements to the property and helping our client be able to still earn an income on the property that they just bought. We understand that there are things that need to be done, and we've been stressing this. I think that this action is going to light a fire under it and get it done. That's honestly what we've needed, and when the police had come by, we've even asked for it, and said, I know this is a nuisance, but we would like to call you as much as possible to get people out. So,
Be it on the record.
right.
Everything else.
I grew up here. My family's, the Heltons and the Schraders, they've been here forever. So
And
this
they
is,
are too.
so yeah, they are too. So this is my hometown, and I don't want to see some of the things that are going on here. We want to turn this property around.
But there are some good people that live there that don't have anywhere to
So
go.
what do you
Right,
need
and
from us?
I think that that's such a great point, I'm glad that you brought that up. It's be really easy for us to make an action where we shutter it so that you can upgrade it, and that's not the thing to
The
do.
biggest one that we're concerned about, and you said the gentleman that's in Unit 6, I really don't want to see him out.
So-
He has nowhere to go, and he's had a hard enough time just, keeping up with day-to-day as it is.
So yeah, to lead on what he said, what do you guys need from us to support you in?
Well, I just need a list of what we need to get done. I mean, I know as far as, we gotta get that lady out of Unit 4. If there's anything you can do to speed up my eviction process, I would be grateful because it's a hazard. It's a danger.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
that
It's
was-
completely
It is.
It is
I'm
atrocious.
I've been trying
We
for
have
2
to
months.
board it up and see where they can't go in down here or out.
I don't know that
I
we
think if
could,
you're going to it, I think we need to put her on notice if that's the intent.
yeah.
Maybe that would speed it up. Maybe she'll leave and I can just haul in a dumpster and
It's
clean it
so
all out.
hard to evict.
It really is, and that's been the biggest problem in that place, and it's caused a bigger problem for everyone else that lives there, is that particular tenant. And I've just been trying for 2 months, it's just a very slow process when people are evading process.
I think if we can maybe put together a plan with a time frame on it, that we can probably get some results
Right.
with the owner as well.
I mean, obviously, he doesn't want to lose his investment that he's made in the building, and, he wants to be able to keep it, rentable and habitable. And, we would like to see that as well, and make sure that the people that are there, are living in safe and good conditions, and that they're not having to deal with people breaking in because the woman in Unit 4 brings them home from the homeless shelter, or wherever she brings them in from. So we would, just a list of what needs to be done, and we will get it done. If we can keep if we need to board up, whatever we need to do to get that woman out in Unit 4, and we will continue to make improvements to all of the rooms and do anything we need to do to make sure that it's up to code and that, it's not causing trouble for the city or, for the tenants.
And we don't have to wait to find a contract.
No, I really don't want it. We have electrical contractor, an HVAC contractor, a general remodeling contractor, and so and we've got a plumber. So
we want to do
A
that.
little bit, yeah.
So we can handle it if, we just,
If we're given the opportunity.
yes.
So, Mr. Litchford, what can we do to expedite the process of, or sealing that place? Because to me, it's a hazard for anybody to go into. It's cleaned up. I mean, you look at the pictures, it's just.
If they
Is
get
that what
Unit 4 and
this is?
Unit
It's all
9,
Unit 4?
in line.
The photographs, are these all that?
Not all of them are from Unit 4. The worst ones are from Unit 4.
I think the other ones are from Unit 9.
They're from every unit. We just went ahead and
Yeah,
photographed all
okay.
units. I mean, they're not,
Well, I was
4 and 9 are the worst two. So if those two really get under control, obviously we haven't seen 7 and 10. Then a lot of like the roach infestation and, you know, the
We
extra
had
people
just,
problems.
we had just gotten
They just go
it
from
back
one
up
to the other, and
Well,
Not when we were
Infested.
going.
before they moved in.
And we can provide you, you know, records of.
Yeah, our
when we've
exterminator
had
records.
Exterminators out there. The problem is we feel like Ford.
Earthright exterminated. They're out of Georgia.
Yeah, so honestly, we feel like not only is Ford bringing extra people, but she's bringing vermin as well.
Yes.
Yes, it's very, very
Well, all the
frustrating.
bicycle parts, I mean, we look around
Oh,
and see.
it's awful.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but, yeah.
It's junky.
Yeah,
Disassembled.
the hot water heater, see in that little room that's on the side, it's got the yellow, you know, posted sign on it.
There were 2 outside closets, one of which
One of them has a hot
One of
water
which is
heater.
locked.
One of which is locked, and that has a hot water
Sounds
heater.
like-
And then the other one just had really strange photographs in it where the
Ms.
guy
Statesboro,
used to live there, stalk people.
Unit 4 can be isolated from creating a dangerous condition with respect to the other units.
We can, if we get it sealed up, and it would have to be sealed, like,
Well, let me
but
say it this way.
otherwise.
If I understood it from Friday, emergency conditions were remedied relative to the fire extinguishers, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So we've got that cured.
Yes,
Is it now the infestation of the rodents
yes,
and the cleanliness?
and the cleanliness.
Right, what about any sort of other conditions, wiring system or anything, or?
There was a couple of little things, and a couple of them where they had just kind of rigged up a little extension cords to run their little lights above their vanities and stuff that obviously need to be remedied, but nothing like emergent.
Okay. But, is the property owner's G&M Properties, that's who you all intend to work for, right?
Yes, sir.
And who is your contact? Is it Mary Frances Cerruti?
No, John Williams.
John?
He's out of Nashville.
Right, at 2012 21st Avenue?
Yes, I believe so.
And John, what's his last name?
Cleves.
Gleaves?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think one option you all could do with this board would be kind of a twofold. You all could make an intent to render Unit 4 uninhabitable pending subsequent inspections by the end of this week to see if maybe there's been a cleanup subsequent to the notice on Thursday. And if there's not a cleanup at that point, then you all could issue notice of an intent to condemn the property. In the meantime, I would think that Mr. Gleaves would recognize that there is a threat to human safety here that even under the Landlord-Tenant Act gives them the right to go in and undertake emergency repairs. And I think
We are legally allowed to,
I'm not suggesting
happily go.
that's something they need to look at, but I think Mr. Gleaves also needs to bluntly get involved here. I know he's in Nashville, but he's gonna have, or G&M Properties needs to get involved. There's efforts they can take to go get emergency access to that as well. So it needs to be a two-part effort, but if you want Mr. Wilson, I think really the option here is move for this to be put on the January 13th one, pending as well an emergency efforts by code enforcement to get access to unit number 4, purposes of inspection deeming it uninhabitable. In the event that they deem it uninhabitable, they give notice to the property owner and the tenant that they're going to take efforts to have it condemned effective immediately. And we'll have to have another subsequent meeting next Monday.
And once it's condemned, she can't enter in there to get anything for her personal belongings, correct?
But we need to have a meeting very quickly to put her on
Now,
notice.
that will just condemn that unit.
That unit, correct.
Yeah.
And we'll specifically say Unit 4.
And then once she's out, we'll immediately go in and start bomb it, spray it, nuke it,
Okay.
whatever.
But make sure that G&M Properties understands that the efforts being taken relative to this body the liens will be placed against that property. Now, they can go after their tenants all they want to, but
Right.
bluntly, they don't need to just be sitting back saying, well, our property manager is doing it. They need to be down here. They're gonna take ownership of this. And there's efforts they can take immediately to get access to that, given what I've heard today, and the photographs that we've received. But that's up to them. They'll have to do that.
Absolutely.
But hopefully, you can tell them, y'all have heard your marching orders, tell them, and, this board will take its efforts under its.
That kind of gives us ammunition to go back and
It
get some
does.
things done.
And if they wanna come stand here next Monday, if we have to, we'll call one and be there. But, hey, I'd like to make a motion that we pass this to January 13th, 2020, with the stipulation that codes be allowed to inspect apartment number 4. And if it's in dire straits, then let's do what we need to do to make it unsafe for human habitation.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Board Member Ezell.
Yes.
Board Member Rogers.
Yes.
Board Member Stevens.
Yes.
Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Chairman Winters.
Yes. Okay, folks.
We'll get it done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Oh, and in that woman's defense, she is right. You call a we hear it all the time. You call a contractor, people say they'll show up, we're gonna just get it done. Contractors never show up because they're all fat and happy right now. Wait till the economy tanks. Everything will be there in 10 seconds.
Mr. Johnson is here from property 1320.
Are you here for the Gleason property review?
Yes, sir.
Come on up. Yeah. We heard your case earlier. Let's see, 3220 Gleason Drive.
Yes.
And the board met, and we discussed this case has been going on for some time and everything. No permits have been pulled.
Not yet. I just got financing for it though. I just had appraisals done to refinance, and it come in as like triple what I own it, so I have the money for it. I'm just waiting on the new appraisal with the improvements added to it, but I've secured financing, and I have my contractor's license up, so I'll hire a contractor, and I have a contractor with me to go ahead and pull permits as soon as we close. So we should be closing as soon as that appraisal comes back. But appraisals with everything going on, I'm being told, are taking some time because there's so many houses selling that the appraisal people. Anyway, that's where I'm at.
What our board had decided on, we voted to go ahead and demolish it. And with that being said, that gives you 10 days to appeal our decision, because we've been dealing with it for a long, long time.
How do I appeal it? Because I have to.
All you have to do is
It's only
write a
about
letter.
60 grand, so I can't do that. The building's in good shape.
Well, the only thing you've got to do is write a letter requesting a hearing before the city commission. And they'll grant you a hearing.
And they meet this Thursday night.
And you can have a hearing as quickly as Thursday night if you prepare a letter and tell them to ask them to put your
In the
name
next 10
on
days,
it.
is it going to help me to go ahead and have the, because if the appraisal gets done, then the financing is there, and the permits can start being.
You just need to present your evidence to them, and just present your evidence to the city commission, but don't go empty-handed. I mean, if you have proof, you've got the financing.
I'll have my contractor with me and stuff too.
Yeah, and bring your contractor with you, and give them evidence that you're prepared to go forward.
I will.
And they meet Thursday at 6 p.m., correct?
Thank you.
I have been sick lately. My God, that's
It's
rough.
allergies, got to drive you crazy.
But be sure to get your letter in tomorrow, so they can get your name on the agenda.
Okay.
You've got 10 days to do that.
10 days to get that in, and when, if it's not Thursday, when is the next meeting? We pass that.
The second and fourth.
Second or fourth.
Yeah,
You have 2
December.
days. There's only one council meeting in November.
Yeah.
So there was not one, there's only.
You just need to file with code enforcement to repeal the notice.
I guess what I'm asking and thinking in my own mind, if I get it past Thursday, then I have everything in place when I come in, because everything should be through, and things should be being pulled, and it looks a whole lot better for me if it doesn't go this Thursday, because I don't have the appraisal back. If I have my appraisal prepared.
Yeah, go prepared. Get letters, your testimonies, whatever, you know,
Yes,
whatever it takes.
So just a
don't
normal,
go
I
in-
write a normal letter myself, just a
Yeah.
appeal, or is there a form that I need to get here?
No, you can do it in your own handwriting and present it.
So you want to appeal the decision the Housing Commission rendered on November the 11th, 2020.
I appreciate you guys.
Good luck.
Yeah, and the only one they'll have in December will be December the 12th. They meet the 2nd and 4th.
But he's only got 10 days
And
though.
you got 10 days to get it into code so they can get it on the council's agenda.